Okay, welcome back to the ATC Story Cup. Been a strange morning so far. We've had some pretty good games, but perhaps all that's gonna stop right now. Spotting here in the top left corner of the map, it's the red Zerg player from Mousesports, Starbuck.
The bottom right as the blue Zerg, it is Axiom's Impact.
Impact is a really talented player, and I'm not saying this because of his like DreamHack run or anything like that. I've really enjoyed watching his games since season 2 of the ATC Story Cup, since he first got picked up by Axiom. He's never really failed to impress. Even in games he loses, he usually loses with style. But ZVZ's been going pretty well for him in recent days, and quite frankly, Starbuck could be in some trouble here. Now, granted, he may still, being Starbuck, have some weird build up his sleeve that might catch Impact a little bit off guard, but in a mirror matchup, you're significantly more limited. You can't really afford to do something like a one-base roach attack, because if you do, you fall way too far behind if there's even one spine crawler down to defend it. So I don't think he's going to be all-inning anytime soon, mind you, but it's still a situation where I think Impact, just on the basis of the playing field, ZVZ, has a better chance of keeping Starbuck from doing something incredibly weird the way he's been doing so far.
Yeah, I agree. He's also going to be playing safe. I mean, he just watched 2 of his teammates go down in pretty fast fashion to some weird, kind of cheesy stuff. So, of course, he goes for the 15 pool. Doesn't take any chances.
Now, because this is game number 3, we've closed all betting pools at this point, and I gotta say, there's a lot of Partufis riding on the line for this. Axiom has almost 11,000 Partufs bet on them. Mousesports has almost 14,000, and of course I threw about 4,000 into the side pot just to beef it up a little bit. So regardless of which team wins today, some peoples are making bank.
Fake bank.
Fake bank, yes. By the way, you see which bank we've been robbing lately for the bank heists?
No.
So we swapped from the Zombie Grub National Bank to the Daishi one, but Daishi kept killing everybody, so now it's the Evil Genius's bank. We seem to be getting a lot of payouts from that.
Of course you would.
Daishi holds too strong, what can I say? Overlord did a little bit of dancing. This isn't BM out of Starbuck, by the way, guys. Even that Queen last game dancing wasn't really technically BM. Starbuck just dances his units a lot. Typically, observers tend to miss it. But yeah, just worth noting, it's not really BM when he does it. He's just a weird, crazy, happy-go-lucky guy like that.
Yeah, he seems especially perky today. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, he's up 2-0 against Axiom personally. I'd be pretty perky too.
Well, he was perky from the start. He just got, you know, even more justified in his happiness.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this guy's always been a bit of a weirder player. Makes him very interesting to watch, of course. Sorry guys, couldn't tab out in time to hit that first blood button, but one link does get up to the main. Key thing, biggest thing, scouts no gas. So he knows his opponent's open gasless.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as far as what that means, just to explain a little further, I guess, is like, okay, typically going to be roaches, knows that he won't have to deal with banelings or speedlings anytime soon, and quite frankly, just play super greedy for a little bit. But the problem is, when you do go gasless at Impact, you're also able to defend really well, and if Starbuck had planned to do banelings and zerglings himself, it wouldn't go so well.
Yeah. You can still bust because this is a map where it's hard to wall off, and you can't get a secondary wall off with the gas guys that are in the way on the natural. But it's very risky, and it's not an odd thing to do at all. So it's not like going to catch Impact by surprise. He's going to, be aware that that is an option. He's going to be aware that the other option would be for either faster tech from Starbucks, so like a really quick lair, or a faster third, which both he's trying to keep an eye on. Blings in the main, and Overlord at the third.
Well, Speed's going to kick in here in a second, and he will dart across the map. But the thing for Impact is, I like they didn't continue chasing the Overlord, by the way. He knew that Lings were on the way, but, you know, he's got Queens of plenty, he's got the Spine Car coming down. He's good to hold against Lings all day, especially if there's banelings behind him too, but there's one poor Ling up here in the middle of nowhere. Just going to heal and licking its wounds. And I'm just picturing a sad little cat in the corner, and now I'm sad.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is one that actually licks his wounds.
Yes, these Lings see this right away. Full wall off means no way to get up here. Could obviously go around the back and chip away at the rocks a little bit if he wants to, but I mean, Lings versus rocks. See you guys in 10 years. But that is
he does
fairly
go up. Well, both.
Yeah, I was gonna say they both just started layering at the same time.
Yeah. So.
But I find the timing on this a little bit interesting because Impact did take all the gases. Do you think? I mean, I want to say still roaches, but do you think this might even end up being swapping to Mutalisks? Oh no, never mind. Yeah, with the upgrades, never mind.
Yeah. He should be getting +1 Carapace as well. Obviously, you get something from this opener, which is not only more drones on 2 bases, but also those upgrades, and you're getting to that place where all ZBZs go eventually, which is Roach versus Roach. You do give up a third, though. Obviously, Starbuck, he has the map control right now. Impact can see with the Overlord spread across the map. Well, never mind. He really can't. I don't know why his Overlords aren't spread across the common path of Lings, but they aren't. So if Starbuck had 20 Lings trying to come out here and kill both Queens in the hatchery, Impact wouldn't see that.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. So I was watching to see if the drone would actually get down or not. But yeah, there's nothing in the middle of the map. I mean, he's got a little bit of vision over the natural, but not even enough to cover it. So, I mean, you're right. Lings, Roaches, anything could technically slip by, and Impact wouldn't necessarily know it was coming. That's a little bit troublesome to consider.
Yeah. Not going to play a factor into this game, though. Starbuck did just go up to the Roaches, get a faster third, take that faster third that was kind of given to him by Impact's opener, and, get a few more drones.
Well, the Roach counts for now are going to be kind of negligible. The rush distance is combined with the fact defender's advantage will not factor into the difference of like 5 or 6 roaches. But what's worth noting, guys, is with the third hatchery, Starbuck not only has more income, but he's going to have more potential larvae to work with, which means more potential units sooner, faster maxing.
Yeah. But of course, Impact is in it for the long game. He's going to have those double upgrades far ahead of his opponents. And he should play to that. We always talk about how 1-1 doesn't seem to be too important, as usually the other player has, enough roaches because of that. They didn't spend the gas there. That it just becomes null. But 2-2 is definitely where, Impact, maxed out can make a big difference.
But can he get to that 2-2? Starbucks, he's going to continually have a roach lead for a little bit. I mean, it's 15 more roaches where Impact's only producing 1. I mean, a spine crawler is nice, but you need more like 3 or 5 for these numbers. And let's not forget, too, Starbuck actually, he doesn't have to come barreling down this main path. He can chop down these back rocks with this many roaches very easily.
Yeah. He does see these coming along. He moved his Overlord just a little bit to the right, so they really do see the entire pathway, and he knows he needs to build roaches. I mean, honestly, he was already at a point where the drones were kind of okay. Like, 55 drones is fine and started producing a lot of roaches.
46 to 31 though. I mean, where did that spine crawler go? Oh my god, it's at the hatchery. So it's not even going to be involved with the fight. A couple queens can help a little bit, I guess. Some transfuses will be absolutely necessary. Their DPS will not go unappreciated, but again, the raw numbers are 48 to 37, and while there's a slight upgrade advantage in the favor of Impact, he doesn't have those level 2 weapons just yet.
Well, he does have a nice concave on the bottom. The queen's helping out. The spine crawler was moved probably because he was afraid Starbuck was going to, section off some roaches.
Starbuck's still got the lead, but he's losing roaches at a much faster rate than that of Impact.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty well for Impact. It's still close, though. Impact, of course, has the defender's advantage, so while this fight will not turn out well for him, he has 13 more on the way that will get here immediately.
I think you got a little bit greedy pushing up that ramp, though. I don't know, it's hard to gauge because you don't quite know how many of these 20 are at home versus on the way or whatever, but you're right, that defender's advantage is definitely playing a big factor in this fight. Continues to push forward here, and these queens, I mean, they've got 4 or 5 kills apiece. They're getting snipes here.
Yeah, adding a lot of DPS, and Impact's +2 is also about to finish, where Starbuck, of course, has been devoting entirely into just roaches, no upgrades, no additional tech, not even, a 4th on his mind. He does get a macro hatch, rather.
I wonder if he's actually checked the upgrade difference at this point, too. Like, he might not be aware that he's about to have this very stark advantage, because Starbuck, obviously there's no way for him to know that it hasn't begun yet, but oh god. It's this map, and an infestation pit's on the way, and it's Starbuck, so I don't think this is going to be infestors.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The days of going really up to infestors after roaches is something of Wings of Liberty. If you're going to stick on not swarm hosts, you usually go up to hydras first. Although some people do go to infestors, it's not entirely out of the question.
I think in this scenario, I would only limit it because of the fact that there's so many roaches available that the fungal growth pescatarians, the damage will be negligible.
Usually, I feel like the ones who go for the infestors are kind of more passive. They didn't go for that attack and then go into it.
It is worth noting too, by the way, he threw down 7 spine cars behind this. So like, let's say Impact managed to beat out the roaches somehow. He's not going to, not with the concave at the top of this ramp. He actually wouldn't be able to break through the other 7 spines on the other side of the map.
Yeah, roaches came into the third of Starbuck. That's why Impact is still over here. He can't really bust up, and I think he knows that. But as long as he's taken away a lot of roaches from a defense the third, which Starbuck is not. Oh no, he is back.
He's not going to break it. Yeah, he pulled off some of the drones. I mean, okay, a couple died, but really nothing significant. But Swarmhouse had begun, and this is where we're going to moan and groan, guys, but there are ways to get past, through, and around Swarmhouse. We've seen a whole slew of players do it. Cyril beat Xanster. We saw Pig beat Petraeus. I mean, there's a lot of ways to deal with the Swarmhouse count before they get out of hand. The problem is, kind of like Ravens in PV or TV, anything really, if you can get enough of them, they start to become really impossible to break.
Well, now we're going to see if Impact can hold true to his interview about Swarm hosts and ZVZ and the patches. I don't know if you read that, but he was kind of just like, you know, it's whatever. It's okay. I don't really think we needed it. Swarm hosts aren't that big of a deal. The Stefano style won't work against most Koreans. Like, that was like one 5-word answers type thing. And I wonder if he's going to be as, you know, as good as he sounded in the interview, as confident as he sounded.
We'll have to wait and see. One of the biggest, scariest things, though, is, of course, even though there are Swarmhouse out guys, there's not a lot of them. This is a hell of a lot of roaches out of Impact. 60 over 34, with only 6 Swarmhouse. Granted, it's like having, I don't know, 12 additional mini Hydralisks. There's still so many roaches to barrel through. He's going to snipe off this base. There's 2 macro hatcheries here. Starbuck actually can't get a concave due to the fact that the hatcheries are blocking him out physically.
Yeah, this is always an odd position when I see the Zerg players go for this, but somehow they seem to always make it work, so that is my bad for doubting them. Impact's still going to snipe both hatcheries and live with a couple more roaches.
He's got to be careful, though. He's starting to get a little bit low. The spine crawlers, though, unburrowed repositioning, are not in a position where they can catch these units. He focuses down the swarm host right away, takes out the spine crawlers like nobody's business, but his roach count is starting to dwindle. And while he's got an upgrade lead for now, 2-2 is about to finish in a second. It's going to become even stronger.
Those are his queens. They made quite a trek over here.
Whoa! Yeah, that got me off guard. A couple transfuses going out, no big deal. The big thing about this, though, guys, queens, it seems so insignificant. I tried to bring it up earlier, but we kind of got sidetracked by the continued aggression. Roach versus roach, roaches in general tend to have a lot of overkill. So, like, they'll snipe a unit down to, like, 4 HP and waste another volley, a huge cooldown of, like, 20 plus damage to kill it. Whereas the queens, they don't hit hard, but they attack fast. So they're really able to, it sounds so silly, but they help a lot. Now this is critical. Baneling's on the way. We saw Cyril do this first. Now granted, this was paired up with Ultralisks before, but if you want to kill Swarmhost, guys, one of the best ways to do it is just to either go through the Locusts, take them out very quickly, they're light units, or alternatively, just get on top of them and detonate. They might be armored, but they only have 160 HP. I mean, enough Banelings will kill anything in this game.
I was thinking originally that Impact was doing this just because he hadn't scouted the Invitation Pit. It's just something that people have been doing more and more. These, like, this really very powerful attack, but kind of, you know, loses its power as it goes on. But he did scout the Infestation Pit. I think this was...
This is one decisive move that's meant to end the game right here, though. Like, the Banelings are gone after this. There's not going to be round 2. As the new Locusts come out, that's fine. There's enough roaches already on top of this, and for Impact, this is looking fantastic. 84, 85, 99. Like, both players have lost so many roaches so far this game. But what's still available is 45 in play for Impact, and Starbuck is bleeding out. If you had a way to snipe off the Overlord, or the Overseer, maybe this looks a little different. But all the Swarm hosts are bleeding out, and this game is about to be over.
Yep. GG, Impact takes it back, 2-1. Or 1-2, rather.
Yeah, puts Axiom on the board, which is the most important thing, because, let's be honest, not only would it be scary to be 3-0, it'd be more devastating to lose Impact until the resurrection of